is not without the sun.
This is a crash course in miracles.
Words can often be misinterpreted or judged, but please do not let the choice of words get in the way of the universal meaning behind them. As the Course says, words are just symbols of symbols. If words like God, Jesus, Holy Spirit alarm you, please substitute your own words, as the names of things are not important. Also, the Course uses male terminology like he, father, son, and these are not exclusive to one gender or another. As you will learn soon enough, there is no gender, and more so, no need for words. Now let's begin. The world is illusion. The world is illusion. Now that that's out of the way, this is probably the biggest stumbling block for new students of the Course. And in many teaching circles, it's revealed much later on. I've decided to begin with it because it's vital to understanding many of the key principles of A Course in Miracles. And not to mention, this is a crash course. Now, it may seem scary at first, but just as the Course promises, the lessons are not intended to increase fear. Now, my saying the world is illusion may sound like some radical New Age concept, but the theory is hardly new. Some of mankind's greatest thinkers have been saying this for thousands of years, Plato and Buddha among them. And Jesus teaches this in A Course in Miracles. So you may ask, if all is illusion, what else is there? The answer is God. That's it. Everything else, including the world, your body, even the eyes with which you seem to see, are not real. We, you and I, in truth, are simply an expansion of God's mind. This is called non-dualism. Buddhists say not two, which simply means that we and God are not separate. I bet at some point in your life, you have had trouble understanding how God, this loving being that created us and takes care of us, made a world of hatred, violence, and war. Why would God, who loves us, allow children to starve? How could a loving God allow earthquakes and tsunamis to ravage the planet and cause hundreds and thousands of deaths? In fact, I bet you've wondered why death even exists at all. How insane the idea that we were born into this world and then spend our entire lives draped in fear, knowing that one day it will all be taken away. We will be plucked from the world. How could a loving God create that? The answer is He didn't. In fact, the Course says, if this were the real world, God would be cruel, for no father could subject his children to this as the price of salvation and be loving. Let's consider what we believe God, or whatever you want to call it, is like. What is God like?
Omnipotent.
Joyful, complete, peaceful, all-loving, pure,
Truth.
one.
Forgiveness.
Now, let's think about what keeps you from experiencing God.
Worry,
Judgment,
Suffering.
hurt,
Anticipation.
anxiety,
Defensiveness.
Guilt.
resentment.
Now, look at the words in blue and the words in red. Which words would you use to describe yourself, your true self? Now, when I present this to groups, they always identify their true selves with the blue words, and this is also what the Course teaches. These words are based in love. The words in red are based in fear. The red words form a thought system which the Course calls ego. Let's evaluate ego in terms of time. There are many ways to make this clear, but time is really easy. When you think about the red words, guilt or grievance, anger or defensiveness, where do these come from in terms of time? All these feelings have a common link to past. They each have their own past references or memories. They all rely on you remembering, activating your past. We'll get more into this later, but for now, consider. It would be impossible to feel these emotions if you were present. If you did not recall your past experiences, you could not be angry, guilty, or defensive. For example, you could not hold a grievance if you did not activate the past by remembering what happened. Also, without your past, there is nothing to be guilty of. Notice when I ask you just to think about this, you may feel uneasy. Something is not right here. It may be this. When there is nothing to be guilty of, there is no need for future punishment. The Course says, take this very instant now and think of it as all there is of time. Nothing can reach you here out of the past. And it is here that you are completely absolved, completely free, and wholly without condemnation. Please consider this carefully. Without your own decision to remember the past, you are free, absolved, and innocent. Innocent. Just feel that for a moment. And in this instant of innocence, your future is suddenly free. The past is nowhere. The past is only a skewed memory of your own past judgments. Point to me now where the past exists in reality. Can you find it? No, it does not exist now. Let's take a look at the rest of the red words. What about anxiety, worry, expectation, anticipation, unease, sacrifice? These words are all based on what may or may not happen sometime yet to come, the future. If you were present, again, it would be impossible to fantasize or worry about what may happen, but rather what is happening. You would be here and now, and again, you would be free, innocent, and at peace. Presence is the only place we can find God. It is the only place where we are absolved of all past fear, like regret and shame, as well as future fear, like worry and anxiety. The Course says, fear is not of the present, but only of the past and future, which do not exist. Well, where do past and future thoughts exist? Only in your mind, nowhere else. You make them. You make them, and it is clear that they are only personalized versions of events that have seemingly occurred or have yet to occur. The one holy true thought one can hold about the past is that it is not here. To think about it at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few have realized what is actually entailed in picturing the past or in anticipating the future. The mind is actually blank when it does this, because it is not really thinking about anything. In summary, the Course says that we are literally blinded by our illusory self, our ego. And as long as we follow our ego, we are unaware of our true nature, our true self, the blue words. All we need to do is remove our ego, our dream of past and future, love, joy, and eternity pour in. We know it by our own experience of it. It has probably happened to you at some point. We don't need to explain eternity or love, but just to remove the barriers that we made against them. And they are always there, waiting. A cloud does not put out the sun, the Course says. The sun is always shining, always, just like God's love, your true self. And it is our clouds that paint the illusion that the sun isn't there, but it is.